Hi, I'm Mark Bachman. I'm a professor in electrical engineering and computer science and also in biomedical engineering at UC Irvine. And I'm also the director of the Resonance Lab here at Calit2. Resonance Lab is a program at Calit2 where we try to help students learn how to become innovators. And that's through hands-on projects where students take ideas from start to finish, and at the end of it they have a project that's highly likely to be commercialized. So at the university we're really good at training students in the theory and basics of engineering, but when they go for a job later they need more training, and usually the companies provide that training. But what about the students that want to become entrepreneurs or innovators? They're not able to go into a large company that's going to provide the practical training that they need, so they're kind of left on their own. So what we'd like to do at the Resonance Lab is provide that training, hands-on training, team-based training, using projects that are real world, where they can learn how to take their theoretical skills and apply them, become practicing innovators. Well, the great thing about UCI is it's a world-class research university. We've got some of the greatest research and some of the smartest minds on the planet right here in Irvine. And these are people from all over in many disciplines such as engineering, physical sciences, biological sciences, the arts, humanities, social sciences, and so forth. Calit2 is sort of a go-between between that great basic research that's going on at the university and the practical world of industry. We have a number of faculty who work with the students. The students usually have one or two faculty mentors on every project, and the faculty come from all over campus, from engineering, physical sciences, social sciences, humanities, arts, and so forth. Usually engineers can't do things by themselves. They're really good at technology, but they may not know the application. And so by bringing in other faculty, for example, the medical school or the nursing school, then we can develop products for those markets. We'll bring in the technology side, and they bring the application know-how. Well, there's a lot of ways to get involved in the Resonance Lab. We're always looking for bright students who are eager and dedicated to improving themselves through this kind of training. And that includes students from overseas as well. So we accept international students as well as domestic students into this program. However, they have to be committed. It's a one-year program, and they have to put in a full-time effort during that 1 year. I'm not saying that the students have to have it all figured out, because we want them to fail. We want them to struggle. We want them to have a hard time. But they shouldn't be afraid of that. Okay? Now, sometimes people think they need to be A+ students to do this kind of work. Actually, that's not true. We'll take students with a variety of backgrounds. Of course, they have to be smart enough to do the work, but it's more important that they be creative and they be motivated and they be the kind of person that's not going to give up. The students work in teams and they meet with their mentors on a regular basis. And in this team-based approach, the students are supposed to treat their projects as projects, and so they have to have milestones, they have to have deliverables, and they have to have certain things that get done every week and every 2 weeks and so forth. They give progress reports to their mentors, and they get a lot of feedback at that point. So the students, yes, are expected to be able to solve their own problems and work on their projects independently, but at the same time they've got a very large support system around them. I'm really happy to say that we have a very positive environment in the lab. We do strive to have a positive environment, and we have people from many different backgrounds, many different cultures, all working together in the same lab. So without a positive environment, it's just not going to work. Now, the students help each other, the students work together, and they, when you're sort of in the trenches with someone, you start to get to know them pretty well. What I'm really glad to see, too, is the students come with many different experiences and expertise, and then they can draw on each other's expertise to help them out with their projects. And that's what I want to see, because really, the only way you're going to get through this kind of thing is by working together. It's hard to predict who's going to be successful at this. I do find that students who have a broad interest tend to be more successful. Students that like to do things, that have hobbies, they tend to be more successful. Whenever I interview students, I ask them about their hobbies, I ask them about what they do. They want to tell me about how smart they are, they want to tell me about their grades. But once we go outside of that, we discover that there are some people that really, don't have much going on, and they don't do as well. On the other hand, students that have a lot going on in their lives tend to be the kind of people that do well in this lab. We are also looking for industry partners to help fund the projects and help give us guidance on what kind of projects are good projects to do for industry. And in many cases, industry will work closely with us, and that they will provide resources and also expertise of their own. And we're also looking for partners who can help us provide a very rich ecosystem for training, for innovation. We're looking for people who have expertise and a desire to work with students to help, create the leaders of tomorrow. Well, Orange County is a great place for business. We've got over 400 medical device companies here, 500 IT companies, and we're just growing like crazy. And the Resonance Lab in Calit2 works very closely with our partners in industry and with the community. The reality is that we can't do anything on our own. We need a lot of help. And the great thing about the community of Orange County is there's a lot of help out there. So what we do is we work with people who have expertise, people who have done startups, people who are assisting companies with their legal issues and regulatory issues, for example, manufacturing and so forth. And we bring these people together in a community to help share what they know with our students, and also for our students to go out and share what they're doing with the community. And we think that's the only way you can go. You've got to engage everybody. Well, innovation is more than technology and more than engineering. And certainly we do a lot of technology, a lot of hardware in our lab. We also do a lot of software. We do a lot of systems and web-based applications as well. And we also work outside of hardware. We work with partners in the arts and in humanities, for example, to develop other programs that may be looking at novel ways to apply human systems and arts, for example, to produce things of value. So even though we do a lot of hardware and we do a lot of software, we recognize that innovation is a lot more than that. And we're looking for innovation that brings value in all fields. We're seeing an explosive interest in entrepreneurship and innovation right now. And I think that labs like this will sort of push that envelope and help provide that sort of bridge between the university and the real world. But not just to produce employees for companies. We're doing a pretty good job of that already, but to produce leaders and innovators. And so I see this lab and others like it really enriching their program, growing stronger, and getting more and more interest.